Today I'm going to hit up something kind of important to what I'm currently running, and I just wanted to talk about it because it's something that I'm kind of learning as I'm going along. It's a little touch and go, and that's creating a good investigative environment when running a game that's uh, based around investigation, whether it be Call of Cthulhu, Vossen, whatever, any game that you want to run that's investigative versus combat heavy or political intrigue heavy. Um, so, going to start off with the most basic thing here. I'm going to give you guys 3 good tips. Hopefully, this video won't be too long. 3 good tips that I'm learning to run a good investigative game, and hopefully, they help you if you decide to run an investigation game. And if not, whatever. You guys know how I am. I do these videos to try to help you make better games, and if they help, great. If they don't, then disregard. There's nothing that important about them. Okay, so first and foremost is uh, going to be you've got to let your players control the pace of the investigation. What you do when you do that is you're letting your players control how they find clues, where they investigate, uh, what exactly are they doing with the investigation, rather than trying to railroad them into finding the exact information you want them to find. And so if you're doing it right, your players will pick up and do the investigation kind of on their own. And really, all you have to do in that case is give them a couple of loose threads at the beginning to pull on that will eventually lead them to the end result, instead of having to build an entire investigation where you're telling them what they need to know and everything else. Because trust me, that's a very boring investigation. That's a boring kind of lackadaisical investigation that doesn't really go anywhere because you've already kind of laid out where they need to go. Give them red herrings, give them, hooks that may lead nowhere, make them work the streets basically. If you're giving them everything on a silver platter, yeah, it's not very good, but you should still let them drive it and let them explore the red herrings, let them explore the hooks that may not go anywhere, who wind up being dead leads or whatever, because then your players will have more information when they get closer to the actual end of the investigation. So that's the first tip, guys. Let the players drive the investigation. Always let the players drive the investigation. Second thing is, guys, don't overdo clues. Um, this is a harder one because an investigative game runs on clues, but don't give so many clues as to give a quick resolution unless you need a quick resolution. But if you're looking for a longer investigative game, don't give them so many clues that the players can quickly piece everything together. Kind of piecemeal it out. Let the players slowly find the clues. Let them slowly interpret the information. Let them slowly get to the root of the matter. And the way you do that is by parsing information and doing it smart. Um, if if the players have too much information, uh, they're not going to have as much fun. Generally, not have as much fun with the game, and that's because the players are going to be looking for a totally different uh, in with the game because they're expecting you to hand it to them. Don't hand them a bunch of clues. Make them look for them. Make them really dig them out. Make them really do the work to find the information they need. Um, and if you're doing it properly, they're getting clues as they're going along, but there's not so much that they they can just rush to the end. That is going to kill an investigative game because the players are just going to know the solution before you need them to. So that's the second piece of advice I give you. First is let the players drive it. Second is don't overgive clues. Don't overgive information. And the third thing that kind of you can give for an investigative environment is let the clues lead where they need to lead. Um, and this is this is the one that I think is going to be probably the most common sense, but also can be a little bit controversial. Don't build the clues to lead to like multiple endings and everything else. The clue should lead to a specific point in the story. And I say that because what happens is as they're investigating a specific clue, they may find red herrings, they may find all of that, but the end result of the clue should be the information they need. It should not lead to, one clue should not lead to five more clues, which lead to seven more clues. A clue should lead to a logical conclusion. Um, and I say that cautiously. And the reason I say that is because players tend to lose interest if all they're doing is chasing one piece of information to another piece of information, another piece of, and it just never goes anywhere. Um, if you give them a name of a player, of a character, for example, that clue should lead them to that character. It shouldn't lead them to somebody who knows that character, who knows that character, who knows that character, who knows that character, and then to the character. You should be able to let them find the character pretty easily, or find information out about the character anyways. At any rate, in case let's say the character is a deceased character or whatever, a deceased person or something. They're not mysteries, complete mysteries, and what you're doing if you cut off the line of inquiry by making it where you have to talk to a person who knows a person who knows a person who knows the person, you're basically just making them repeat the investigative steps anyways, over and over and over again. And again, that's going to get boring. Players are going to get bored. They're not going to be invested in the game because it doesn't seem to be leading anywhere. And investigations, like I said, should be about finding information, getting your clues together, being able to get to the end result by puzzling all the clues you have together into one coherent narrative. And if you do those three things, and I know there's more that you can do in an investigative game to give a really good, tight environment. Those are kind of generic, though. Just note, creating an investigative environment is about allowing the group to explore the information they have. And another thing that I would say, guys, and this is a thing that I've actually said about Call of Cthulhu in past, and I've had Call of Cthulhu GMs tell me some ways they work around this. Never leave a clue in a situation where the clue is unfindable. Never. Especially if it's a core clue to the adventure. The group should never have an opportunity to completely miss a piece of information that is key to solving the question before them. If you're playing that way, again, players are going to lose interest. They're going to get bored because they're missing pieces of the actual information. So keep that in mind. But yeah, guys, if you follow those three rules, I think you'll create a really good investigative game. You'll have a solid game, and either way, if you guys are looking for more information, please leave any questions, comments, concerns, stuff below. As always, follow the three rules, and as always,